everybody. Welcome to our beginner band class today on Monday. Glad to see a lot of people out there. Check in and say hello in the chat. As always, we have our friends moderating our chat. We have Teresa and Joe in the chat room. And go ahead and let me know, as always, let me know throughout the show if there are any issues with audio, if you can't hear me, and my moderators in the chat room can go ahead and send me a message if I'm having any issues with my audio. Okay, so we want to welcome everybody. If this is your first time here, I want to let you know where you can get, Jason, my good friend in the chat, a loyal name and face here, has checked in. Yes, the link to all the music you need for today is in the description. So you're going to look down for the link, and I'm going to show you right now where you go, because you're just going to go to drselfridgemusic.com. Okay, so right here is where we see drselfridgemusic.com, and the link in the description should take you right to this page, which is called Live Stream Beginner Band. All right, everybody? So I hope you have your instruments out. We're going to be playing some music together. If you don't have an instrument, you can just watch and play along, or you can watch and kind of do a pretend instrument. Sometimes I tell my students if they have forgotten their instrument, they can do like a pencil and do a pretend instrument, air instrument. If you've got percussion, you could be drumming along, you could be playing your mallets or your bells, or you could just be watching and trying to learn as we go through. Okay, so hi everybody in the chat. We're going to be doing some shout-outs a little bit later. We have, as always, helping us out with our chat room, we have Dennis, who is going to be watching in the chat for any shout-outs. If we have school shout-outs, we'll be doing those in a little bit. And also in a little bit, we're going to bring on our special guest, who's going to play some trombone for you. Okay, you might be able to guess who that is. So what I want to do first, folks, so we're going to go right to, let's go to our warm-up right here. So you're going to go to on drselfridgemusic.com /livestream beginner band. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it right in the comments right now. Okay, there is your link. Okay, and let's go to, we already have questions in the chat. Dennis, they want to hear from you. Can you come in and say hello? Dennis is in our chat room. Oh, maybe Dennis can't hear me. Dennis, can you hear me? I'm not getting anything from you, Dennis, so check your mute button. Okay. Oh, Dennis, that is my fault. My fault. I forgot to turn up here. Now you can say hi. Now you can say hi.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Steve. How you doing?
Good. All right, everyone. So Dennis is going to be in our chat room watching for your comments. All right, here we go. Let's go back to our music right here. You're going to click on Warm Up. Click on your instrument. I'm going to go to Flute. Let's start right away. Get your instruments out. I want to look at measure 20, and we're going to play Connect the Notes. And for Connect the Notes, we're just working on playing smooth quarter notes. And as we go from note to note, we want each note to touch the next note, but we want to use our tongue to begin each note. So, ta, 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 measure 20, starting right here on this note, measure 20. I'll go first. Sounds like this. Let's all try that. 1, 2, 3, go. Let's do the next one. Go. Next one. Go. Next one. Next one. Very good. All right, everybody. So now we're going to go to our next section called Essential Patterns. And again, if you're lost, if you don't know what we're playing, you go to the link in the description of this video, drselfridgemusic.com/livestream beginner band. You go to warm-ups right here. Click on your instrument. I'm looking at the flute part. Measure 39, measure 30. Essential patterns. So we're going to be doing some up and down patterns on our concert B flat scale. Let's try. Let's just jump right in and try it. Ready? Measure 30. With me. 1, 2, start now. Rest. 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 Wow, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to now play it from the beginning, and we're going to use our play-along track, which actually, the play-along track comes from this right here. Let me show you. It's this video, this Foundation Warm-Up Cinematic Accompaniment. I'm going to press play on this video, and we're going to play along from the beginning with this video. So, starting at the very, very beginning, listen for the count in. Very beginning, here we go. Start and release until I say stop. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here comes tonguing practice. Ready, go. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Here we go. The next spot. 1, 2. Connect the notes. 3, 4. 3, 4. Had to move the screen there for you. Measure 26. 3, 4. All right, essential patterns, last thing. Here we go. Rest. 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 Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, how did everybody do? Was everyone able to play with us on most of that? Okay, if you got lost a little bit, that's okay. But I really recommend that you practice those exercises. Those are really great warm-ups. We're going to get to the next thing on our checklist. And the next thing on our list, everybody, is we're going to be doing our beginner band tunes packet. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to our special guest. But while I'm doing that, I want you to be clicking and getting your beginner band tunes packet for your instrument, getting that ready so we can play some tunes out of that. And so while everyone is getting their beginner band tunes packet ready, we're going to say hello to Mr. Olson. Let's find Mr. Olson here. Mr. Olson, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Mr. Olson, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Great. I think everybody out there is doing great. And of course, Mr. Olson is, you guys may have seen Mr. Olson because he's done a number of trombone lessons for us on the old YouTube channel here. So if you guys can think of specific questions for Mr. Olson is an expert in brass instruments. So anything having to do with a brass instrument, especially trombone, but also trumpet, tuba, French horn, all the brass instruments. And just if you have any trombone questions. So Mr. Olson, we are going to go to our beginner band tunes. And then after this, Dennis, we're going to do some school shout outs, okay? So if you have any, if you want to get a school shout out, put it in the comments. Let's go to our beginner band tunes packet, Mr. Olson and everybody at home. I'm going to play clarinet on this, and maybe Mr. Olson, one of these songs, maybe you could pick out if you want to demonstrate something out of the packet. Do you happen to have one?
I don't have a packet with me, but I have some of them memorized.
I bet you know a number of them memorized. Yeah. Okay, so I got my clarinet out, so I'm going to open up my clarinet music. Beginner band tunes. All right, so I'm going to pick out a couple for us to play together, and while we're doing that, Dennis is going to be looking in the comments for requests. Requests of beginner band tunes. You guys can put those in the comments. Let's do some play-alongs, okay? Let's start off with good old Shark Attack. I have to adjust my reed a bit. Shark Attack. And just a reminder, Mr. Olson, playing along doesn't, it kind of gets a little tricky.
That's right. I'll mute myself.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody at home, let's start with number 1, Shark Attack. Ta, ta, rest, rest, rest. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, go. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. Good job. Okay, let's keep going down our band tunes. Why don't we go to, let's do good old Hot Cross Buns. That's going to come in handy later in the live stream, and you'll see why. And then after Hot Cross Buns, we'll ask Dennis to come in and give us if there are any requests from the band tunes packet. Here we go. Number 2, Hot Cross Buns. I'm going to play piano on this one, everyone. You're going to play along with me on piano, okay? And I'm going to turn my piano up a little bit. Everyone, let's play Hot Cross Buns. 1, 2, ready, play. Hot Cross Buns, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, awesome. Now, Dennis, do we have any requests that you're noticing for songs?
The only one I saw was the Pokemon song.
Oh, someone requested Pokemon. We actually don't have Pokemon in our packet. So let's do one. Mr. Olson, let's go to you. Do you want to play, I don't know, do you want to play We Will Rock You, maybe?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go to Mr. Olson. Mr. Olson is going to play We Will Rock You. And I'm not going to play along because there's a little bit of a delay, but you guys can play along at home. And Mr. Olson, you can count everybody in. You just give it
a simple repeat.
Let's do the repeat one time. Yeah. Mr. Olson's going to count you in, everybody. And you're going to play along on We Will Rock You. Number 6.
Here we go. 1, 2, ready.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Olson. That was fun. Let's do a couple quick. That's you could say a quickle. A couple quick school shout-outs. So Dennis, if you want to pop in, do we have any school shout-outs we can give?
Yes, I do. Quite a few.
All right.
Sam Houston Middle School, North Star Academy, Jennings Middle School, Community School of Davidson, Barker Middle School, Honey Creek Middle School, and Hoover Middle School in Iowa.
Wow, some good shout outs. Thank you, everybody, for checking in. If you didn't hear your school mentioned, check in the chat. We'll try to keep track and get more people, get all the school shout outs. Let's do another from our band tunes. Dennis, did you notice any other song requests coming in?
Seven Nation Army.
Okay, that's a favorite one. All right, let's do number 9, Seven Nation Army, everybody. I will play this one on saxophone, alto sax. And this is song number 9. I'm going to play with you. Mr. Olson's going to play along. Okay. There we go. We're in, make sure I know my key. All right, so it's da, da, triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we're going to do it, everybody. And a 1, 2. Number 9. Here we go. I usually end it on the same note as the first note of the song. Makes a nice little ending in D minor. Okay, so now everybody, we're going to go to the next, or something new from our page. So you should be right here. Oh, this is going to be fun. Right here on the drselfridgemusic.com/livestream beginner band. Okay, link is in the description. Link is in the chat. We're going to go to this new song, and actually, this was a last-minute addition. We're very, very excited about this one. A friend of mine that I went to college with, and we've known each other for many years. He is an excellent trumpet player and teacher, and he writes a lot of fun songs for his kids to play at his school. And so he has offered to share some of those with us. And the first one is this fun little tune. It's called "Around." And if you know what a round is in music, a round is when you have several different parts to play, and if one person starts and keeps playing their part, and then the next person comes in, and then the next person comes in, and it all fits together. All the parts fit together. It's pretty cool. So we're going to click right here. It's called the Mega Stay-at-Home-Mania. And I said here, this super fun round was written by my friend Mr. Thompson, who teaches in Lancaster, PA. Shout out to Lancaster, PA. Can you guess what famous song this is based on? Well, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? Because you can see the picture. And we're going to click here for the sheet music. All right. This takes you to a separate part on my website. And you're going to download the sheet music for your instrument. Let's go to, I'm going to look at B-flat instruments. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. So everyone should be looking at your music for Mega Stay-at-Home-Mania. And again, the link is on that same page. All right, so what we do is, if you're part 1, you go like this. It's pretty simple. It's TT, rest. Or if proper counting, we say 1 end, 3 end. So it's 1 end, rest, 3 end, rest, 1 end, rest, 3 end, rest, all the way through. Oh, my clarinet's kind of being a little bit funky today. See if I have any other reeds. That's okay. I'll live. I'll make the best of it. So part 1. You can play with me if you want. I'm going to play part 1, everybody. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest. Pretty cool. All right, now let's look at part 2. So part 1 would go on to part 2, and someone else would come in at part 1. That makes it around. Let's practice part 2. Part 2 is a little trickier because you have to do rest on the beat where we're used to playing. We're used to playing on beat 1, but you got to rest on beat 1. Rest, ta, rest, ti, ti, rest, ta, rest, ti, ti, ta. Okay, let's try it. Part 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 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 rest. A little tricky at the end. Let's go over part 3 and part 4, and then we're going to listen to what it sounds like. It's pretty cool when you do it all together. Part 3, ready? Back to our 1 and 3 and rhythm. 1 and rest, 3 and rest. Part 3, 1, 2, here we go. All right, and the final part is part 4. This one has, instead of the rhythmic rests and TTs, eighth notes and things like that, this one is a lot of sort of held out connected notes. Ba, 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 ba. And it also goes, if you're playing clarinet and you don't know these higher notes, or if you're playing trumpet and you can't play these higher notes, that's okay. Do your best with it. Part 4. 1, 2, here we go. All right, we got through all 4 parts. Now what I want to do is, this is something we're going to come back to at another class, but I want you to hear how it sounds with all the parts together. And my friend Mr. Thompson gave us a play-along track going at full speed. It's pretty quick. I believe it is at tempo 170, which is pretty quick. Let's listen to this. I'll call out each part as they come in. If you're brave, you can try to play along. Oh, I got to turn up my sound. All right, let's take it back to the beginning. Let's get my sound going here. All right, Mega Stay-at-Home Mania. Here we go. Listening, or you can try to play along. 1, 2, ready, and 1. It's fast. Here comes part 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Part 3, 1, 2, part 3. Part 4, 1, 2, 3. So on this recording, they go through and they keep repeating it, right? So, wow, that's awesome. Pretty fast, huh? So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, before we move on to our next thing, we're going to do some shout-outs if we have them, and questions. So, Dennis, do we have any more schools that have checked?
A whole bunch.
A whole bunch of schools checking in. Let's hear them.
Yeah. West Intermediate School in Wilmington, Gonzales High School, Glen Olden, Moody Middle School in Alabama, St. Clair Middle School, Loomis Basin Charter School, and Bethel Springs.
All right. Hey, everybody. Bethel Springs, right here in my hometown where I teach. So welcome, everybody, wherever you are watching. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, actually, Dennis, did you notice any questions coming in that we could take right now?
I don't know whether they'd be relevant to this, but they'd be great for the end.
Okay, we'll save those questions for the end. If you guys remember, if you have trombone questions, brass questions, we have our special guest, Mr. Olson, who is here to help you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's go back to our music. All right, so are you guys ready for another new song? This is a jazz song. All right. And you're going to click where it says click here. You can also click on the big picture. It'll take you to our music for this jazz song. Now, if you speak Spanish, you might know what this song translates to, and it might give you a clue as to what beginner song this is based on. And I'm going to see if anyone in the chat can guess it. Okay? So we're going to be looking in the chat if anyone knows the beginner song that this tune is based on. Let's go ahead and click on Let's go to I'm going to play flute. All right. You're going to click on your instrument for Bollos Caliente. Bollos Caliente. Okay, and if you have more shout-outs, more school shout-outs, go ahead and leave them in the chat. We'll get you. Okay, so this is a really fun song. Let's look at the melody. The first 4 measures, we have these slashes, and that just means that the background music is going to give us a nice little groove of background chords before we start. It's going to sound like this. Let me find it for you. Where did you go? Huh. Okay. I'll find you. Let's get it here. All right, this is our song. Check it out. Jazzy. Isn't that nice? 4, 2, 3, 4. And then right at that point, we'd count 4 and we'd start playing. So everyone, let's look at the melody at measure 5. Okay, it starts on a concert D. And I'm going to play 2 measures, you echo me. Actually, Mr. Olson, can you echo me? You're going to be my echo. So everybody, Mr. Olson is, I'm going to play 2 measures. Mr. Olson is going to echo, and you can echo with Mr. Olson. All right, I'll go first. This is starting at measure 5. 1, 2, my turn. Echo. And I already see, thank you, Mr. Olson. I'm going to pause because I already see we already have some people getting the right answer in our chat. Bexad got it, and Ananya Gupta got it, and Jaybird got it, and Jason got it. Good job. Yeah, it's Hot Cross Buns. It's a jazzy version of Hot Cross Buns. All right, so measure 5 and 6, we just played it, and actually measure 7 and 8 are the same. So now, Mr. Olson, let's go to the next line and let's echo. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. Just goes up the scale. Okay? My turn first. Ready, go. Good. Oh, that's enough, Mr. Olson. Good. We're going to go. Now we're going to do the next 2 measures, starting right here. It's measure 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, right here, you've got double notes, right? You can choose which note you want to play, upper or lower. It makes a nice harmony. I'm going to play the upper note. So these 4 measures sound like this. 2, 3. Play that with Mr. Olson. Go ahead, Mr. Olson. Count them in.
And 1, 2, 3.
And now I'll play the last 4 measures and you can echo me again. Again, choose the upper or the lower notes. It's up to you. My turn. 1, 2, ready. Mr. Olson and you.
Ready.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. Very good, everybody at home. And Mr. Olson, thank you. What we're going to do, I'm going to put on the play along track, which you can click in the link of the video of the website. And we're all going to play the melody together. Okay? And you're going to play along at home. We're going to wait our 4 measures of rest. And then we're going to play through the whole melody. Let's try it. Bollos Caliente. Here we go. 1, 2, wait for the rests. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. maybe my background track is a little bit too loud. You let me know. I will turn it down a little bit. Now we're going to do a little jazz improv. And what you can do, guys, for jazz improv is, look here. You can play this pentatonic, it's called major pentatonic scale. It's the major scale, but we leave out some notes. We leave out 2 notes. So it sounds like this. There's the scale. In fact, I'm going to switch over to alto sax just for something different. Now, I am going to show you, look at these solo ideas. You can use these little ideas to get you sort of started if you've never tried improvising before. So let's try solo idea number 1 right here, measure 27. I'm going to play it, then you play it back. My turn, sounds like this. Your turn, ready, go. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta. All right, now the next one sounds like this. Next line. My turn, 2, 3, 4. Your turn, ready, go. I play a little blippity blip. Now, the next one. Next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Your turn, 2, 3, 4, rest. Okay, and the final one, the bottom line, my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to put our background track on, and we're going to play these solo ideas. I'll go first. You repeat after me. Now, what you can do is you can either repeat exactly what I play with solo idea 1, 2, 3, 4, or as the music says, you can echo or you can improvise your own idea. Let's try some. Actually, I'm going to show you something. Let's go to Mr. Olson for a sec. Mr. Olson, I guess, do you have the music printed out or do you need it on the screen there?
I have it.
You have it? Cool. So we're going to go to Mr. Olson. Mr. Olson, can you play solo idea 1? And I'm going to, instead of echoing you, I'm going to make up something new.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Ready?
Whenever you're ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
My turn. I'm going to play something different. I used the same rhythm, but I mixed up the notes. Okay, Mr. Olson, can you do the next one?
Sure. 2, ready.
All right, here's mine, my response. Okay, Mr. Olson, next one.
2, 3, 4.
Last one.
And 1, 2, 3.
All right, everybody give Mr. Olson a round of applause. Yay, Mr. Olson, that was great. Okay. So now what we're going to do, everybody, again, if you are lost of where we have this music, very quick review. In the description of this video, there should be a link to drselfridgemusic.com/livestreambeginnerband. In that link, we have clicked down here where it says Bollos Caliente. That brings you to our music that we're using right now. Okay, so I'm going to switch to the alto sax music just for something different. Now we're going to put on the play along track. And you guys, I'm going to play the solo ideas. You guys can echo me or make up your own in the space. Let's try it. Let's play through the melody first. All right, so it's melody, then we'll do some call and response with our solo ideas. Get your instruments ready from the beginning. Bollos Caliente. 4 measures rest. Here we go. Melody, everybody. Here we go. Echo me. Or make up your own. My turn. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. My turn. Let's do that again. Your turn. My turn. You can make up anything you want. My turn. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so now we're going to wrap up. We're almost to the end. Let's go. Let's bring Dennis in. Dennis, do we have, let's do shout-outs first, and then maybe a question or two.
Okay, we got some more came in. Wayland Middle School, Oak Ridge, and Life Elementary. Renzulli Academy in Connecticut. Main Street Academy, and Quincy Elementary School.
Nice.
California.
All right. Welcome to all of those people. Thank you for being here. And if we have any teacher shout outs, we can do those too. But let's do you notice any brass or trombone or any questions coming in, Dennis, that we can?
No, not to those specifically, but there's where can I get good reads for B-flat student clarinet? Okay.
Good reads for a clarinet. I recommend either Van Doren, the Blue Box, or Rico/Diodario. They make really good reads. What do I use? Diodario Select, Rico Blue Box. Mr. Olson, do they even make Rico Royals anymore?
No, they call them the Diodario. I think it's the Select that you have.
Okay, so I recommend Rico/Diodario or Van Doren's. Okay, another question.
Yeah, this was one that came up in the chat. Jay Bird and Mike both were kind of in on this. Jay wants to know, what's the easiest instrument to transfer to from the clarinet? And he asked with that, what is the best sounding instrument?
What is the easiest instrument to change to from clarinet?
Right.
Mr. Olson, you can chime in, but I would say probably oboe, or in terms of the key work, well, saxophone.
Saxophone would be my guess.
Yeah, saxophone's the easiest. Although it depends. You have to ask your band director. They may have limits on how many kids can play saxophone, how many kids can play clarinet. But saxophone, oboe has the same keys, although oboe is not really easier, but it's an instrument that a lot of bands need, so you should check out the oboe. Flute is very similar keys, although it's a different mouth position. Okay, maybe we'll take one more question if we have it, Dennis.
Yes. Mike Hamilton would love to hear an easy way how to learn reading music, as I need letter notes because of the dyslexia making reading music difficult.
Yeah, Mike, we've talked about that. Yeah, it's tricky. Mr. Olson, have you ever talked to any folks about how you can, folks that have difficulty because of dyslexia? I don't know if you have any experience with that. My only suggestion with that is I would say, take your time with starting with our beginner band tunes packet. And if you need to, if you really, have that issue with dyslexia, you can write in the letter names. It's probably, it's any accommodation you would need to do to try to learn those notes. And then what you can do is, Mr. Olson, if you've ever had students where they have trouble reading the notes and you start writing them in a few and then you start erasing them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest, is after you get a little bit used to a note that that you can always identify, leave that one out.
Yeah.
And then only use it as a helper in the long run.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Just take a few things away each time.
Yeah, good.
There's one more that's connected to that, Steve. Flippy Films says, are there any note reading videos?
Note reading videos. I'm sure there are. I don't even know if I have one specifically on note reading, but that's a really good idea.
Okay.
My biggest suggestion, Mr. Olson, you can chime in on this. When kids have trouble reading notes, usually when I point out to them that our notes, when you go up line space, let me see if I can show you this. Notes of the staff. We're going to try to find this right here. All right. And let's see here. And let's zoom in on this. So if you look here, folks, the notes of the staff, C, D, E, F, G, if you realize that the notes of the staff follow the musical alphabet, line space, so line space, line space, line space, they just go up the alphabet, D, E, F, G, and in the musical alphabet, what happens after G? We don't have any higher notes than that. We don't have H, I, J, K. We start over again at A, B, C. So if you remember your alphabet, that can help you start to learn to read notes. Mr. Olson, any thoughts on that? Quick?
That's exactly what I say.
Okay. Awesome.
Use the musical alphabet.
All right, the musical alphabet, everyone's favorite alphabet. Okay, let's play some notes or some music. Let's go back to our live stream. Here's what I want to do. We're going to do a little bit of our beginner band song called Rock One Time. My friend, music teacher, Mrs. O'Brien, is checking in the chat and saying there are computer games that help with note reading. Oh, you know what? I wonder if Music Racer is still a thing here.
Or Staff Wars.
Staff Wars. Oh, guys, look at this. Ready? Music Racer. It's a lot of fun. You go here, pick your game, note names. Oh, Mr. Olson, have you been on this site lately? They've upgraded their graphics. All right, you pick your instrument. Let's go to trombone. Why not? We're on level A. We click begin, and you have a timer. And usually I have to zoom in so you can see it better. There we go. So you have to get a reference point. So you learn your lines for bass clef, G, B, D, F, A. Good. It's not good. Good boys do fine always. What else do people think of? Great big group. Good. Oh, good burritos don't fall apart. Good burritos don't fall apart. Did you ever hear that one, Mr. Olson?
That's a good one. I like that.
All right. So we go, good burritos don't. That's a D. This is bass clef. So we click D. I took a long time on that. You're going to try to get better time here. A. And I knew that was an A, so I know that's an A flat. E flat. G. Good burritos don't fall apart. A flat. Good burritos. B flat. Good burritos don't fall. I'm getting hungry, Mr. Olson. All right, so Staff Wars, okay? Or not Staff Wars, Music Racer, but also Mr. Olson said Staff Wars is cool?
Yep.
All right. Nice. Mr. Schollenberger is checking in. He likes Staff Wars. Mr. Stadnicki says his students love Staff Wars. Natalie Fernandez. Oh, okay. Mrs. Fernandez, I know from our music teacher interactions online, says there are lots of apps and websites. Wait, let me go back one because she said students with dyslexia have success with highlighting, using a highlighter. Okay. And Mrs. Fernandez also says there are lots of free apps and websites that drill note name recognition. Joseph in the chat says 2 teachers made suggestions of using color coding of highlighters. Hey, that's a great idea. So use different highlighters and like B flat is always green or something. That's a great idea. All right, let's play some songs and let's finish up our class for today, everybody. Let's go back to our page. I want to look at this song by Mr. Peltz, who teaches out there in Interborough School District, my alma mater. Mr. Olson, I don't know if you know we had Mr. Peltz's song on here. It's called Rock One Time. And we're going to play it at letter C. So if we look at letter C, I got to get my music up here. You're going to click on your music. I'll click on trumpet. And if we look at letter C, All right, our trumpets have rest. I got to get my music here. Let's listen to letter C. Oh, all the woodwinds start off on letter C. Let's listen to letter C. So you're either playing or you're counting your rests. Here we go. Letter C. Give a listen. Our woodwinds start. Then the brass come in. And the percussion. And we all do it again. Okay, let's do that much, everybody. Let's do that much. So we're going to do rock one time. Make sure you have your sheet music that you need. You're going to go here and click on your sheet music. All right, I'm going to go back to the trumpet part. And actually, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, what your teacher looks at, called the score. Your teacher looks at a score where they can see all the music at once. Okay? And so we're going to start at letter C. Our woodwinds play. Our brass and percussion have to count 4 measures rest, and then we're all playing together. Let's do it together. Mr. Olson, you can play along at home. Just make sure your volume's down.
Got it.
All right. Here we go, everybody. This is our little rehearsal on this tune. Letter C. Is everyone looking at letter C? Count your rests or play your notes and play along. 1, 2. 1, 2. Letter C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2. Brass and percussion now. All right, and there's a little cowbell solo. Everyone likes a cowbell solo. Okay, so next time we'll do a little bit more of that song. You guys should try at home, put on this play-along track that I put online. Let me find it. Play-along track is right here, full song. You can try it at full speed, 132, that's pretty quick, 120, 96, and try to play along the full song. Let's bring Dennis in here before we wrap up with shout-outs and questions.
We have Mr. Vonderstock, and Orchard Park, New York is another school that we can add to our collection here.
Shout out to Mr. Vonderstock, who I teach with here at Garnet Valley, and Orchid Park, Mr. Olson, or Mr. Okay.
I don't know who it's from there, but it's one that they were mentioning. Sometimes they don't put where they're from, but
right.
It's good to hear them out there.
Absolutely.
Mr. Stollenberger says, if you have a teacher help you set up musictheory.net, that can also be useful. It can be custom designed.
Okay, Mr. Schollenberger.
Go back to that question, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Schollenberger is a friend of mine, excellent teacher. Suggests musictheory.net, and teachers can help you with that.
Yeah. Chips 105, how can I remember certain notes with ledger lines for the flute?
Bring in Mr. Olson here. Ledger line strategies. For me, it was just a matter of, again, you count up the musical alphabet, and then you just have to start getting that association on flute. Okay, so you're on flute, your top line is F. You see a one ledger line note. You count F, G, A, alphabet, right? F, G, A. And then you just start memorizing that one line through a note means A. Trombones get a lot of ledger lines too, right, Mr. Olson?
Yeah, later on we do. Not so much at elementary, but middle school and high school, yes.
Middle school and high school, you get lots of ledger lines, okay?
Though by that time, when you're doing your ledger lines, you're only getting 1 or 2 notes at a time. So you're not like trying to learn like 5 notes at one time. So sometimes that helps too, to be a little bit easier when you're trying to remember them.
Okay, good tips. So before we're going to do some final shout outs. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do question of the day. We haven't done that one in a while. Question of the day. And what you're going to check in with your question of the day. Let's see what our question of the day is going to be. let's go to, this is a good question that we always should know, is what are you practicing this week? So let me know in the comments what you're going to be practicing this week. I'll give you some shout outs on your responses. And in the meantime, and also I want you to chime in with your requests for what final song are we going to play today? Final song or two that we'll play today. Okay? So while we're doing that, was there maybe one more question we could do, Dennis? Anything?
Steve, yeah. It's not a question so much as a discussion that was kind of going on. What happens when the student, I mean, even in the beginner part here, because they weren't trained, in school or picking up the instrument later, to fight the frustration because they're feeling as though they're not getting the things as easily as some of the younger students are because they've been trained in school. What are some of the things that they can do? And maybe just to make sure that you encourage them that I think they keep coming here and keep practicing, they're gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, Mr. Olson, you can chime in on this too. I remember being very frustrated with reading music, and actually one of the things that helped me was the musical alphabet. Once I figured that out, and then I started taking just easy song. If you try to practice a song that's like way too hard for you, you'll get frustrated. So you should start maybe with easier songs and get very confident on those and almost memorize them and memorize your notes. And then, Mr. Olson, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I had a very similar thing when I was young too. I couldn't hit the note G to top space in the staff for probably 3 or 4 months. I could hit notes all around it. Couldn't hit that note. I couldn't find it on my trombone. But the thing is with music is some skills come very easy to some people and some things are very difficult. And sometimes that even changes within your abilities too. You have to just be steady and patient and keep practicing because the skills will show up for you if you stay true to the practicing.
That's great advice. Great advice. Just patience and not giving up and taking things in bite-sized pieces that you can handle and not frustrating yourself by trying to take on too much at once. Just patience. Okay, so we're going to do some shout-outs with our excellent answers to our questions here. Let's see. Bexad is practicing Fur-Elise. Let's see. Ilias is practicing Minuet by Bach and Tambourin. Jason Nguyen is practicing September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Alicia's doing a C scale in thirds. E the Saint is practicing the 12 major scales. Gabriel is practicing concert music. Gabriel, we're gonna help you out with that. Ananya wants the Pokemon theme. I actually don't know that one, Ananya. I'll have to do some research on that. Elisha is practicing the Final Countdown, or that might be a request. Several clever people out there have, including Mrs. O'Brien and Gabriel, said they're practicing social distancing. Wah, wah, wah. Let's see. CD Flow is practicing his or her PMEA songs. Mr. Peltz gave them. Ananya is going to practice that song Rock One Time. It's on our website. Great job. Mike Hamilton is practicing Highland Cathedral. Okay. Flippy Films, Minuet and G. Let's see. Eye of the Tiger. Okay, so Sarah is saying Eye of the Tiger. That, I think I'm going to take that as a request. We'll do Eye of the Tiger from our Band Tunes packet. Let's see. Any other requests? Ilyas is asking, is there a harder course for band? Yeah, on Wednesdays is advanced band. Okay, so check out Wednesday, 3 o'clock, Wednesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, my time. Addie is practicing for PMEA. Okay, Addie. Mike Hamilton, Star Wars theme. Is that a request or you want to practice that? All right, let's go ahead and do some of these requests. And Dennis, if you see any requests come in that are notable or popular, let's go to our packet. Mr. Olson, do you have you don't have a packet there, right?
I don't.
I opened the trombone packet. I'm going to show you the trombone packet. We're going to do Eye of the Tiger. Mr. Olson's going to play Eye of the Tiger.
All right. That's a little too. There we go.
Yep. You got it. You could do.
All right, ready?
You could do. Maybe just stay on the lower note.
Sure. 1, 2, 3.
Nice job. Okay, let's look for another request here. Actually, why don't you guys play along? Let's try Eye of the Tiger at home. What number was that? Whoopsie doopsie. 16. So we're going to play it. I'm going to play piano for you, okay? So we're going to go like this. Let me turn up my keyboard a little bit. Can we try number 16, everybody? Try it at home. Ready? 1. This is number 16 in the band tunes packet. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2. Now you can pick either note. There we go. Okay, so I've had a request to play Star Wars. Dennis, I don't know if you've ever seen anything by popular demand, but I'm going to play Star Wars. Here we go. And this song, I did post a most requested song list on my website, but I know people have been having trouble downloading it. I'm going to re-upload it, and I'm pretty sure Star Wars is on there. Let me see. Star Wars. Alto sax. Dun, dun. Oh, I didn't get it on there yet. Whoops. All right. I'll get Star Wars up there for you guys, all right? Here we go. Quick Star Wars before we go, and then we'll do some final shout-outs, and we will go. Here we go. Star Wars. Shortened version because we have to wrap up. I want to say thank you to Mr. Olson. Everyone say thank you to Mr. Olson in the chat. We did have a question from thank you, Mr. Olson. We had a question in the chat from a teacher if I know of anyone who does videos like this for strings. I don't, but if you know of anyone, let me know. I'll do some YouTube searching. Let's give a thank you to Dennis. Thank you, Dennis.
You're very welcome. Everyone
thank Dennis in the chat, and thank Joe and Terry in the chat. And thank all of you, both familiar folks who are here all the time and new folks. I hope you'll come back. We have beginner band every Monday at 3. Let me give you the schedule here. We have Mondays beginner band. We have Wednesdays advanced band, Fridays jazz, Sundays ask me anything, and requests. That's how we do it every week. So again, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. We had an awesome time, and I will be seeing you, and some of our special guest friends will be back on Wednesday. Okay, everybody, have a great week, and make sure you keep practicing. Bye-bye.